What's good, everybody? This is Three Stacks. I've been missing y'all. It's your boy. I'm back in this thing. I know it's been like a week. I've just been having a lot going on in my life. Really busy. A couple things I just had to take care of. Just didn't really have time to do videos, and so I apologize that I was out for so long. And I also apologize for vertical recording. Please bear with me. I'm working on getting the equipment so that I don't have to do videos this way. But you guys are awesome. You're really faithful, and I just want to say thank you. And I'm coming at you guys with some fresh ideas. So if I have enough time, I'm gonna do my cubic hero deck. I'm gonna show you guys pure super quantums. I'm gonna show you guys Dark Lord Lockdown. I may have time to show you my Infernoid build after the upgrade. And there's 4 other decks that I want to show you guys. So I got a lot of new stuff. So luckily, even though I was out, I actually, at least I can make it up to you guys for not doing videos in so long by showing you guys fresh new decks. I think I bought like 7 different decks, and I just want to show all of them to you guys. So this has been a very, very difficult project. I accepted the challenge of trying to build a consistent cubic hero deck. Now, cubics, after getting just this one guy, are like amazing. And I really like, doing hybrid decks and doing just different stuff, splashing ideas together. That's the kind of guy I am. I saw somebody tried resonators with cubic, so I'm like, you know what, I'm going to try something different and give people like, different routes to go at, with the deck. So this is Cubic Heroes, and it is a challenge for me. It's actually not complete. This is my progress so far, and this deck, it is complicated. It requires so much thinking. I think for you guys who actually like a mental challenge, this would be a nice deck for you to pick up. For you guys who just like simple stuff, run ABCs. And let's just hop into this main deck. And like I said, it's incomplete. There's some cards that I really need to get, and also just rarities and stuff. I like my holos. So running a 3 Duja. This guy just makes cubics just amazing. Very, very amazing. There's too many different combos that you can do with him. I might have to do a separate video just in the combos you can do with Duja, but I'll explain just 2 quick ones. You can ditch Karma for your instant search, or you can ditch Unification of the Cubic Lords, and then once you overlay, your Cubic leaves the field, then you can just banish and then special from deck, bring out another Duja, pump out another card. It's just really broken. So the shenanigans, it's just amazing. If I had room, I would definitely be running Call the Haunted to just keep pumping out Duja. I don't know. I may get room for it. It's just in the future. This deck is gonna change a lot because there's just a lot of different things I want to do for the deck that I can't do at this moment. But I have big plans and goals and aspirations for this deck. Trust me. And next we're doing a 3 Vjam. The Cubic C. This guy's amazing. Before he got Duja, it was like you either have Vjam or you don't, and you just lose if you don't have him. And so these are the most important cubics because they're the only ones who give me normal summoned. And next we have triple Crimson Nova, the Cubic Lord. This guy is amazing. I look at it like a line of royalty. We have the Cubic Lord, we have the Cubic Emperor, and we have Kings. And for my Cubic lineup, I only run the royal ones. I don't run Beast or Behemoth. Well, I do run the Behemoth, but I don't run any of the Beasts. I only run the Kings, the Lord, and the Emperors because I'm a king. This is Team King of Games, you feel me? So this guy's amazing. If you don't know what he does, I'll just explain all of these guys. So Duja, you guys should know what he does by now, but he's a Foolish Burial for any cubic card, and then he gets this attack boost. And for the Vjam, he can't be destroyed by battle. If you do battle him, he puts a cubic counter on the monster that he battles. He goes to your spell or trap zone, and monsters with cubic counters cannot attack. No, I'm sorry, it's not that they can't attack. Their attack becomes 0, and their effects are negated. So it's like Phoenix Chain on steroids. And once he's in the spell or trap zone, you can special summon him back and just keep abusing his effect. And Nova, he pretty much says he's unaffected by activated monster effects with 3,000 or less attack, which means it has to be continuous. So you can't, try to out him. Basically, you can't get rid of him with monster effects. You have to get rid of him with spell or trap effects. And he can actually attack multiple times, putting in a lot of damage. And during your end phase, we both take 3,000 damage. Now, that's amazing because if you make this guy and are able to attack twice with him, getting rid of your opponent's monsters and inflicting damage, during the end phase, they can lose. And there's also cool things where you can actually tie up with your opponent by killing you and him at the same time. So you can just go kamikaze. We both lose, and it's a tie. So this deck has amazing ways to win, and it's just such an unorthodox play style. It's like, wow. I mean, a lot of people may not, consider picking up this deck. Me personally, I love fun decks. You guys should know this about me by now. I love fun decks. I'm not really a meta player. Don't get me wrong, I do have meta decks. I have pretty much every deck that's relevant, that's topping right now. But I picked them up literally just so that I can test them against my decks so I pretty much I know what I'm up against. For example, ABCs when they first came out, I bought the deck just to test it against my Herald of Perfection, so I see what what do I need a side deck, how do I counter the deck. So I literally purchase these decks just so that I can train myself and practice with them. I don't purchase them, like, hey, I'm gonna go to a local event or I'm gonna go to regionals or states with Blue Eyes or with ABCs or with Paleozoics or Metaphors. I'm just not that kind of guy. I'm really like a rogue player, but trust me, I can make a rogue deck much more powerful than any deck that's relevant. And that's just because I have that skill set and that arsenal, and I'm able to pretty much tweak with cards and make them work better than a deck that's supposed to run perfectly, you know what I mean? So, yeah. Then Triple Garagaya. This guy's my favorite, not just because he's a king, but he requires just one cubic to special summon him, and he does burn for 800, and he can pretty much. You climb up the ladder. So here's a cool thing with cubics. I'll show you guys the ladders. So you've got 3 Garagaya, the cubic king, right? And then you got Vulcan Dragny, he's the cubic king. And then you've got Indiara Doomvolt, who is the emperor. So the king brings out V-Jumps and searches for the bigger king. Then this king brings out V-Jumps and searches for the emperor. And you have the lord. So you climb up the ladder of royalty, and each cubic comes out more powerful and with different effects. So it's almost like you're digivolving if you guys are into Digimon. You just evolve one king into a much more powerful version of the same king, and then you go into the emperor, which is like above kings, and then you go lord, because lord is just amazing. So that's a cool fact with the cubics. They pretty much just climb up the ladder. Vulcan Dragny, the same thing when he's special from hand, inflict 800 to your opponent. And if he battles or if Garagaya battles, what does that mean? It does not have to be attacked. You can attack with it. And as long as, it's still there, they don't compulse it or banish it, you can send it to the graveyard and bring out the V-Joms and then do your search. And it is at the end of the damage step. I do need to note that. And then we have Emperor. And this guy pretty much says that if he's sent to the graveyard by effect or via battle, if he's just sent to graveyard, you can special summon up to 3 cubic monsters from your grave and add any cubic card from your deck or your graveyard to hand. Really, really broken. And finally, for the last cubic monster, I am running Behemoth just because he comes out at 3,000 and he can attack 3 times, which is amazing. This guy just clears boards. And similar floating effect as the Emperor, the Behemoth, if he's sent to graveyard by, whatever means necessary, you can special summon 3 cubics from your grave and search for any cubic card from your deck or grave to hand. So this is the cubic lineup. When I first built cubics when they first came out, and I do have to say thank you to you guys because that was the most views I ever got on a video before when I did my first cubic deck profile. And this was when they first came out. The cubic lineup was a lot different. And that was because I hadn't played with the deck very long. It was new. It was a fresh idea. So I was just testing it. So this lineup that I have now, this is pretty much after long play testing. If you guys don't know this about me, I test the crap out of every single one of my decks to see what works. This is the lineup and engine I came up with. It works the best. It's the most consistent. And then for heroes, this is Cubic Heroes. We're running 3 Shadow Mist. She's standard. Everybody should know what she does by now. She's the basically the filler or pseudo Stratos since Stratos is banned. And triple Bubble Man. Like I said, I'm working on the rarity of the deck. I do run some comments in here, and I don't like comments, but it's fine for now. The card does the same thing. It's a pain to look at in my eyes. And then Double Summoner Monk. This helps to tutor out your Shadow Mist, or if you want to bring out your Cubic Duja, your Meteor, which is amazing. You can send that Unification, go into the XYZ play, banish Unification, special another Duja, get your search off, bring out your Cubic Lord. This deck can make some pretty powerful boards like Dark Law, Bahamut Shark, Tree Toad, Crimson Nova, the Cubic Lord, which are just amazing, incredible, and powerful boards. So this is pretty much the lineup for the heroes. Now the Monk, that counts as 2 extra Dujas, 2 extra Shadow Mists, however you want to say it. And that's it for monsters. It is a chunky monster lineup, but this is how I'm running it. Triple Emergency Call. Yes, they're commons. I'm telling you, I really am going to work on the rarity of this deck. Triple Fusion Conscription. Now, Fusion Conscription, you reveal your Fusion monster in your extra deck and add one of the monsters that are listed on it. And the only thing that Fusion Conscription actually works with is the Crimson Nova Lord. And, the Trinity Lord. And the reason why I'm running the Fusion Conscriptions is with this deck build, I'm trying to create these massive, incredible boards and make these these nasty plays. And this guy, if you're able to make him with your Totally Awesome and your Bahamut Shark, and you're able to get Dark Law, you've got a really, really optimal board. Now, this deck, I'm not trying to make it tier 1. I'm just trying to make it as close to tier 1 as possible, with it still being fun. So it is a fun deck. I will note that. You guys can try this build out, take it to events, see how it runs. But I'm not running this to be competitive. I'm really running it for fun, just to make, basically, my go-to and my goal with this deck is to make the best board possible. So Fusion Conscription is here to help me to turbo this guy out. Now, I'm not running Elemental Hero Prisma simply because I don't have access to him right now. I may try him in the future. Like I said, I'm still working on the deck, so it's not complete. And 2 Cubic Karmas, because I only own 2. I don't know why I couldn't find the third one. I just couldn't find it. When I picked up this deck, it was missing a Cubic Karma. So I will definitely buy a third one, because you have to run this at 3. It's pretty much a Rhoda, a Stratos for any cubics. You can banish it from the graveyard to search. And while it's continuous, if a Vjam, the Cubic Seed, is special summoned on your opponent's turn via a Cubic Monster's effect, you can send this to the graveyard and have your opponent's life points. So, Hero Lives, anybody? And I do also, that reminds me, I am not running a Hero Lives in this deck, mainly for this. This is the main reason. And I'll tell you guys, if I wasn't running this guy, I would definitely run a Hero Lives. But after playtesting so much, taking 7,000 damage in one turn, you might as well just scoop it up, because you're not going to win that game. So I had to take out a Hero Lives, because there's too many times where it's like, I can make this guy, and I want to make him because he's really good, and he helps me. But then a Hero Lives conflicts with that, because you're paying half your life points, then you're taking 3,000 damage. And now, of course, a good way to mitigate and avoid that is to tribute him off and summon Gira Gaia, but that doesn't always happen. So I'm not running a Hero Lives, not because it's a bad card, but just because it conflicts with the way I play this deck, because I pay so much life points with it. And I already lose a lot of life points in this deck because I'm running instant fusions too. So I just don't want to run Hero Lives, because I don't want to sacrifice, that much of my life points and risk me losing. I'm not saying it's a bad card. You guys can definitely try to find a way. If you're going to run Cubic Heroes, I'm giving you guys this fresh idea. Try it out yourself. And I will say, I didn't copy this from anybody. Try it out and see if the Hero Lives works for you. But it just doesn't work. So 2 Cubic Karma. Sorry if I rambled for a second, but I'm really passionate about everything that I do. So I try to explain the best way I can, reasons why I do things and why I don't do things. Just hoping that you guys will understand. And triple mass change, 3 instant fusion. This is how I'm going into my Bahamut Shark plays. And if not Bahamut Shark, just a free Utopia the Lightning. Triple polymerization. You literally just want to poly all 3 of your Crimson Novas and make this guy. So it's really good. And if I can get access to Elemental Hero Absolute Zero and a couple other Elemental Heroes that just require a hero monster and another attribute, I'm definitely going to just, try to tweak this deck and make it more focused on heroes and fusion plays. So the polys won't just be here for him now. Now they'll be here for Absolute Zero and any other Elemental Hero fusion I can find. And then 2 Cubic Waves. 3 was really breaking with me because this is not pure cubics and you don't always control a cubic monster to resolve the effect. But it does stack. So the most broken way to do it is you pretty much, where's my Lord at? You want to have the Lord on field. You want to play Cubic Karma. Give Lord the, the 800 boost for each Vjam you're able to send. So you'll play Cubic Karma. You'll pretty much, if you already have a Vjam out of your deck, you'll send 2 and he'll be at 4,600 now. Then you play this, double his attack. Now he's at 9,200. Then you play this again, and he's at 18,400 attack. And 18,400 attack is like, how are you supposed to deal with that? So it's like you can swing twice for 18,400 attack. And if it's not game by then, which it actually should be game, if I'm just technically speaking, we only have 8,000 life points, you burn your opponent for 3,000 attack on the end phase. So it's like Cubic Wave just makes the OTK happen. So this deck has a lot of ways to kill your opponent in one turn. And for traps, I'm just running 2 Unification and 1 Fusion Reserve. If I wanted this to be more, more focused on competitive, I got the strikes, I got the deep barriers, I got the vanities, I got the warnings, I've got the mirror forces, I've got the floodgates, I've got every good trap you can think of that I can put in this deck. But I don't want it to be competitive. I want this to be a fun and creative deck. So for now, I'm just doing 2 Unifications and 1 Fusion Reserve. What this is just another Rhoda. It's my 4th way to search into Crimson Nova Lord. So you pretty much you have 3 fusion conscriptions and this guy is at 3, and he's actually searchable through your cubic effects, and he's searchable through cubic karma. So it's in playtesting, I've been able to get to 3 copies of him very fast on my first turn, and then poly them and make this guy. So you can call this Crimson Nova Turbo, but there's more to this deck than just making the Holy Trinity guy. You can do all kinds of shenanigans with your heroes too. So it pretty much, it's a good deck. I'm not gonna lie. Like the plays you can make, the benefit of having the heroes in this deck is that with cubics, they have a tendency to brick. If you don't have Duja, if you don't have Lord, if you don't have Vijam, you can't have a field presence in pure cubics. If this was pure cubics, these are your only methods to getting a field presence. Other than that, you're gonna have stuff like this, and this, and this, and you can't summon them because you don't have cubics on the field, because you have to have a cubic to normal summon. So what the heroes do is they give you plays to make for the time being. If you still have not opened with cubics, these let you make Bahamut Shark, Tree Toad, and Dark Law to hold it down until you can perform your cubic combos. So I do like mixing the cubics with the elemental heroes, because it gives me that follow up, that backup play, and that for now, for the time being play. Just gives me all of that. Extra deck, 2 Trinities. You don't need 3. You're never gonna make 3. 1 Anki, 1 Acid, 1 Danklaw. You could run multiples, but I run 3 Mass Chains, and I run 3 of these. And one thing I will note is once I get my hands on more Mask Heroes, like Divine Wind, because I run Winds, Koga, because I run Lights, and who knows, some other elemental hero fusions that just require, certain attributes, because I have a lot of attributes, I'm going to put a lot more hero fusions in. And I'm definitely going to also incorporate Mass Change the second, because I can Mass Change the second my Vijam and still make a Dark Law. I can Mass Change the second my Duja and use Duja, and then I can make Koga. I can Mass Change the second my Giragaya and go into Divine Wind. And I also, I can just, with the Bubble Mans that I have, I can make Absolute Zero, which is ridiculous. So there's a lot more, there's just a lot more stuff that I need to do to this deck that I haven't done yet. So this is a for now build, and it's just showing you guys my progress, because I am really excited to show you guys this deck. It's an amazing and fun deck. Norden, and also Restrict, because I did find myself sometimes having multiple instant fusions and only one target, and sometimes what you want to happen, which you want to happen is Totally Awesome recycling Norden, doesn't always happen. So you need just an extra target for instant fusion so that you can play it, or else it's a dead card in your hand. And 2 Totally Awesomes, 2 Bahamut Sharks, Utopia package, and Emerald, because it comes up all the time. So yeah, that's it for now, you guys. If you guys felt like I was talking too much, I'm very sorry. But for people who wanted to understand why I do what I do and how I do it, I was explaining everything for you guys, and I really do appreciate you guys a lot. So please give me your honest opinion and feedback on this deck, what you feel like I can change it up. But I do need to remind you guys, this deck is not complete. I have a lot of work to do it, and it's a big mental challenge for me, because I want to find out how am I going to make this deck incredible, phenomenal, just completely outstanding, and able to do what I want it to do every single time. So if you guys have any advice, please feel free to share. God bless you guys. You guys have a wonderful day, and be safe whatever you're doing.